What's up, guys? It's me again, Christian Rodriguez, and today I want to talk about the downsides of isolating yourself too much, right? And I know it's been a while. I haven't been posting as much content as I have been because I've been really focusing on my business, right? And I need to prioritize that, but I still want to create content for you guys and help you guys out. So when it comes to isolation, right? The thing about it is isolation, right? Okay, so I want to start with solitude first, right? Because, you hear this typical self improvement advice, right? You would hear do the work, grind, right? Reinvent yourself. I'm going to make a video, it's going to come up soon on reinventing yourself. But basically, talking about all this type of stuff, right? Talking about, men have to make sacrifices, do this, do that to reach your goals. And within good reason. There's a good reason why, because you need to make some sort of sacrifice to achieve something great, right? And you need to go through some sort of period of solitude. And it might sound counterintuitive to everything I talk about, because I've even made a video in the past talking about having a mission, right? And being willing to go lone wolf, right? Because if you're not willing to go lone wolf, then you're more likely to tolerate bullshit from other people. But there's kind of a balance now, because if you go too much lone wolf, right? The issue that you may face is you may isolate yourself, right? And when you isolate yourself, that's dangerous. Might be even more dangerous, right? If you read the 48 Laws of Power, a book I reference about every freaking video I make, Law 18, Robert Greene talks about don't build walls, something like that. It's just he talks about isolation being dangerous. That's basically what he talks about. And I think people brush over this law a lot, but basically what this law really means is the thing about isolation is that you need to go out there. You need to go make allies, right? You need to be around like-minded people, right? Because the thing about us humans, about us, is that we're influenced by the people around us, right? We're influenced. And when we're influenced by the people around us, if you're around the right people, you're more likely to do things that you probably normally wouldn't do if you were by yourself because of it, right? Like, I'll give you an example. I started attending startup events, right? I started attending startup events in Chicago, right? And I've been frequenting the same one on a weekly basis. And when I go, I happen to see the same people, right? And they're entrepreneurs. Many of them are further ahead than me, which is great. That's the type of room I want to be in. And the thing is, we talk about the same things. We talk about outreach. We talk about cold DMs, cold email. We talk about cold calling. We talk about, because I see these people so often, we talk about our outreach methods. We talk about social media, right? Creating content, stuff like that, right? And the thing that I noticed, right, when it comes to social media, when it comes to posting, is that it's a patience game, right? And the thing is, I probably would have never gone so far that I have in business, right? When it comes to posting on LinkedIn, I think that was a byproduct of me being around the right people, because they were posting on LinkedIn and it worked for them, right? So I'm like, I should post on LinkedIn because it's something that could work for me. That's an example of why you need to be around the right people. If I isolated myself, I probably would have never done it. I probably would have been like, LinkedIn's stupid, so I'm never going to do it. Because I used to think LinkedIn was stupid. But I also realized LinkedIn, I have a decent amount of followers. I could grow this a lot faster than YouTube, right? Which is why I've been focusing more on LinkedIn than I've been focusing on my other YouTube channel, because it's just too much to worry on right now. But yeah, that's an example of it, right? That's an example of it. And yeah, if I was by myself, isolated, I probably wouldn't do that. Another thing about isolation that people don't talk about, right? Now, you get out of bed, right? Say with me, I have my own business and I create content. I get out of bed, right? I could easily just get out of bed, throw on a shirt, wear basketball shorts, right? I do it a lot, right? I'll start I could go on my computer, which I hate doing. I can't just go straight to my computer out of bed. It's just I need a buffer, but I know some people do. Many people do that. I could do that for extended period of time, but then eventually I start drifting. I procrastinate more. I'm like, oh, I have the entire day. I feel like depressed. I feel like I feel like shit. I feel more doubt. I feel more, everything feels like more like a chore, right? Instead of it feeling like a system or it feeling like work, like meaningful work, it feels like a chore to do, right? Like something that I resent doing. And I think the reason why I was struggling with that is because I was so isolated. I was in my room. I remember that there was like a few weeks in Chicago where it was like below 0 in Fahrenheit, and it was just too cold. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't even go outside for a walk. So I was inside all freaking day, kind of miserable, if I'm going to be completely honest. And that's the thing. A lot of people. Now, solitude is great. Self-improvement is great. But if you're too isolated, right? If you're not leaving the house and you're doing work, I think it's going to lead to isolation more than just solitude, right? Too much solitude leads to isolation. And when you get to isolation, you start, you start struggling to do work. You start struggling to get shit done. You procrastinate more. I notice this is what happened. It's been happening with me, right? I'll procrastinate more. I'll do less things that I usually do. I wouldn't have like a sharp mind. Things like that, right? And you see, things like that wouldn't happen if I was by myself, right? If I was around like people, right? If I was around like like-minded people, I probably would freaking do more work. I probably double in. I probably do more things out of my comfort zone because I'm around them, right? And you feel like some sort of sense of competition, right? Like you don't want to feel like you're behind. So you feel accountable, right? This is a big reason why I haven't been working from my room, right? Because my bedroom is also my office. So what do? I've been going to coffee shops. I've been going to venues, right? The Mart in Chicago, I've been going there. The Mart, the merchandise Mart, it's a historical landmark, but they have like a kind of like a co-working area, and I've been going to it, and it's absolutely amazing. I could just sit down, I could do work, I could stay focused and concentrated. A lot of people don't really like. A lot of people are actually there who are business owners who are like-minded like me. So, and I catch up conversations with them. And I feel even better myself because I'm just like, I showered, I got ready, and I'm around this environment, right? And I've been getting more work done. Even if I start a little later, I've been getting more work done. When I'm in my room all day, it's too much, right? If it happens once or twice, that's fine. If it's every day for freaking months, I think the isolation part is counterproductive, right? I think it's actually gonna limit your growth. It's gonna limit what you do, and then the solitude is gonna be disguised as discomfort. As comfort zone, right? So you're gonna think, oh, let me do what you usually do. Maybe routine. You wake up in the morning, you do some outreach, you create content, you execute your work, right? You execute, maybe you're building automations for businesses and you're executing that. And then you go home and you should be fine, right? Yes. In theory, that's fine, right? Like you do your work in your home and everything's fine in the comfort of your home. But the issue is if you're in the comfort of your home for too long, it's isolating and you end up losing social skills. You end up not being around those people, and it's counterproductive. It's not gonna push you to your goals. You're not gonna get ideas. You're not gonna feel energized. You're not gonna or feel a sense of competition. That's another one too, right? You want to feel like you kind of want to go out there to compete because that's what we are, right? That's what us men do. We compete. And I don't mean in a toxic way. I mean like in a productive way, like in a good competition. Like, oh shoot, this person's doing really well. I need to step my game up. That's something that we naturally do. That's just a part of human nature. So why the fuck are we gonna isolate ourselves and pretend like other people don't exist? So that's the point of the video, because this is something that I've noticed within myself, and I know that a lot of people work from home. If you look at co-working spaces, right? There's been a rise since COVID. There's been a rise of co-working spaces. Why? Because people work remote. Many people work full-time remotely. And the thing is, when you're at home for too long, even if you're with family, you get sick of being around each other as well, right? Because it's too familiar. Everyone sees each other every day. Everyone steps on each other's toes. But when you go to a co-working space, it gives you the setting of dressing up professionally, being around people who are also being professional in their own field. And it almost gives you kind of that feeling of being in an office and, like bringing in bread, right? Bringing in bread for the company. And it just does something psychologically. I could give you a gym example of it too. When I first moved here to Chicago, I didn't have a gym membership. I didn't have a gym membership. I was like, let me just save money. I'm not gonna go to the gym yet. There's a park near here. There's some pull-up bars and a dips bar. I could do that. And I have a yoga mat. I would just do some HIIT workouts. No, I did it for like 3 months, and I was in pretty good shape because, yeah, getting in shape is not hard because I've been doing it for so long. But after like 3 months, I got so sick of being in my house. I got sick of being in my room. I got sick of going to the same park. I got sick of it. I got very sick of it. And I just told myself, okay, I'm waking up, I'm sleeping in my room 8 hours a day. I work out in my room, and I do work in my room. I'm like, this is too much. This needs to get separated. So I even got a membership at a gym not too far from me, so I can be around human beings, because that's a very important thing, right? And it gives me a sense of a community, but it also puts me around people who are strong, people who are working out, people who are taking care of their health. So it reminds me, oh, there's other people who want to take care of their health too. Yeah. If I keep talking, I'm just gonna keep repeating myself. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'm gonna keep creating more. I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe and take care.